Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. Well, happy Tuesday to you. It is the 17th of June already, and we're rolling right through. I wanted to come on and make a somewhat of a more serious of a video for us. Because I see a lot happening. I see a lot going on in the world and in our society, and the majority of people I think are hopeful, and I think we carry that hope together as people who have a faith that everything's going to work out. But sometimes it looks a little bleak. Sometimes it looks like we're up against a unformidable foe, and we're not going to be able to fight our way through some of these battles. But I want us to remain hopeful and to stay steadfast in that hope, because once we start to lose sight of our hope and what we rely on, like our faith and the power to get through and the encouragement and the dedication and what we know, our wisdom, once we start going back on that and not trusting that and not having faith in those things that have gotten us through till today, I think a lot of us at some point will indeed start to give up, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So there was something that I was reading earlier today that really had an impact on me, and it was, if you look at the steps that we worked in AA and the 12 steps, if you looked at them backwards, and it was really enlightening, because step one was felt alone and overwhelmed by life, right? Absolutely. And number two was came to believe that alcohol or drugs would fix everything, right? And then step three was unwittingly turned our lives over to alcohol and drugs and to our flawed thinking. So as we go through the list, it's the opposite of what we've come to learn in recovery, right? And the things that have held us back. I think the steps are beneficial for people. I think when people work them in an earnest way, and in an earnest manner, right? I think that they can be super beneficial. And some people will have a spiritual awakening working those steps. Some people will have a spiritual awakening simply by allowing a power greater than them to help them through whatever it is that they're suffering from, right? Because what we've learned through our addiction and through our trauma and through our neglect and abuse and addictions is that we are victims. We claim that we are a victim and that we're always going to be this way and that we can't get out of it and yada 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 yada. But as soon as you give yourself some credit and you start to build yourself up and you allow yourself some cred, because you've gotten this far in life not by pure sheer chance or coincidence or luck, but because God has you here for a reason. The universe, however you see it, my friend. So when we bring that together and we work a program, there's the magic word there, we start to learn that we're not alone and that we can fight this fight with other people, other recovering addicts, other recovering alcoholics. Because one thing that I'm going to come to tell you guys on this channel, no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what's going on in society, all the bad times, all the good times, is that we, love it, can't do this alone. And that we've come to fight an addiction on a really lonely path. But in recovery, it's not lonely. It can be, and there are times when you will be lonely. But perhaps by our through our boredom, through our excitement, through our ups, our downs, our slips, our trips, we're going to learn a new way of living in recovery that will afford us a new opportunity to stay away from the things that we're staying abstinent from, like drugs, alcohol, people, places, things that have kept us tied or chained to an addiction or to a behavior or a pattern of living that isn't right for us anymore. We're sick and tired of living that way. So if you're sick and tired of living that pattern and going through that, here's some things that might help you in your adventure, right? Because we have to believe in your journey, right? We have to believe. We have to imagine. We have to reimagine. And we have to stop having resentments over things that have happened to us in the past, right? Institutions, people, places, things family, loved ones, we're going to get hurt in our lifetime. And we've been hurt in our lifetime. And we need to think about maybe letting go of some of that, forgiving some people and letting go, right? Because as soon as you let go, you'll receive. So let go of that anger, that resentment, that fear, that rage. And you know what's going to fill that void is appreciation, respect, dignity, ethics, morals. Who knows? But a lot of respect comes with working a program and working a formula, if you will. Because every day we wake up and we look out our window and we say, "Gosh darn, it's just going to be a crappy day." I just know it. I just know today's going to be a garbage day. Well, honestly, you guys, what you say is going to come to fruition. Not all the time, but most of the time. So if you tell yourself that you're no good and that you're crappy and that you're not loved and you're not trusted and you're not respected and you're not this, you're not that, well, then you know what? More than likely, that's what's surely going to happen. Now, there surely will be people out there that will perhaps trust you and love you and respect you through all that, which we all have people, we should have people in our lives like that, right? We should have loved ones in our lives that are going to love us and support us no matter what. But we got to change our ways. We got to fill that void with new ways, new patterns, new thinking, and get rid of the old stuff, right? And get in a new direction. We want to avoid people that are negative. We want to avoid places that are negative and things that are negative and things that are going to bring us down, because those are inherently really difficult to get back out of once we get into it. So continue to trust, right, your new way, your new thinking, and trust that you can do this. Because once you put enough trust into your program, into the steps, the formula, the triumphs, the wins, the losses, the more you're going to get out of them, right? And I have people say to me from time to time, "Gosh, how do you do it?" And you know what? I look at them and I say, "You know what? It's a one day at a time program for me. I don't look too far into the future." And when my wife says, "Hey, what do we got going on this date at this time?" I'm like, no clue, no idea. Yes, I have stuff in my calendar and I have a schedule that I'm pretty tight with and I'm tied to, right? Because that has all my plans in it, right? So that's what a schedule is for. That's what a calendar is for. Not for me to live in every day and worry and wonder and have fear and think about, "Oh my gosh, am I going to have this? Am I going to have that? Am I going to have money for this and this and that?" It will be provided if we're doing, granted, we're doing the right thing, right? So I'm not going to be able to have money for my trips and all the things that I want to do this summer or do with my family if I don't get out and work, right? So that's a 1 + 1 = 2 type of thing. We'll put that into recovery as well, right? So if you're not putting down the drugs or the alcohol, you're not going to get the answer that is in the equation of abstinence, right? So if you're looking, so this is all tied into insanity and doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. In recovery, insanity gets flipped because you keep doing the same thing every day, but you're getting the right result, right? You're getting the good results. You're getting abstinence from the people, places, things, alcohol, and drugs that wrecked your life for a time being, right? Because you know what? A lot of us were so addicted that we didn't even give ourselves a fighting chance to get out of it until we saw a little glimmer of hope or had a little glimmer of faith, or somebody said, "You know what, you can do this," or you had a counselor or a therapist or a sponsor or somebody that just put a little bit more attention into you or gave you a little bit more encouragement, and that was all you needed to increase your chances of staying abstinent and away from the people, places, and things, drugs and alcohol that were really wrecking your life, right? And so fixing things takes one day at a time. And in recovery, that's how we live. Now, in the real world, that doesn't always work like that, right? We have to have a long-term outlook and approach. We should definitely have that. And it looks mighty hard to do that right now because there's so much going on. I mean, is bombing everybody under the sun, and there's a lot of religious tension. There's a lot of prophecy being played out. There's a lot of there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad out there, and it's up to us to have the hope and to keep the hope, right, and to spread the hope and to maintain a hopeful attitude and outlook, and give feedback when needed. And I've been humbled lately, you guys. I feel really blessed and grateful to be here. Thankful that I've been able to have this second chance, right? The second chance opportunity that we all get in life when we decide to do the next right thing, which is putting down the drugs and the alcohol and actually living a life free of those things, because those things got me nothing but bad times. So if you're going through something like that, my friends, you can change, and you will change. And it just takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication and a lot of hard work. And there's a lot of stuff going on out there. And there's a lot of people that I pay close attention to on social media, on YouTube and on Facebook. And I hear a lot of people, just there's a lot of turmoil out there. And we could let that in the door in our own life. But when we tend to work a positive, grateful, thankful, one day at a time program, we don't have time or energy to pour into these external problems. We don't have time to think about these things. We don't have enough space. I don't, anyway. I'll speak for myself. I don't have enough space. I don't have enough hard drive in my mind and in my spirit and in my soul to exercise any type of to spend any type of time on these topics. Yes, it's important who our president is, and yes, it's important, but this is politics. And you guys do realize, surely you realize, that it's all a game now at this point. And that politics is it's one big club, and we ain't in it. And in order for us to get into that sort of club, you have to be a billionaire, you have to be a politician, you have to be a wealthy elite, you have to be in Hollywood, you have to be a religious leader, you have to be an intelligence agency leader, you have to have some sort of pull or something like that. But for everyday Joe Schmoes like me and you, no offense, we're everyday people, we're working class, right? Lower to middle working class people. I'm Irish, we're Irish, my wife is French Canadian and native and German, and I'm Irish and Polish and German, but I hang my hat on the Irish because that's what I most connect with, I feel like, in my ethnicity. But lately, I've been given a new nickname. It's not Irish. It's going from Irish to Lefty, and I was given that nickname by Sonny out of the Medford chapter of the Dry Riders Motorcycle Club, which we have chapters in Minnesota and in Wisconsin. I love that guy. I love him. I love his family, his sons. They're good people. I really relate with them, and they're out of Wisconsin there, which I'll see them in a couple of weeks because we got to run out there. And he also has one of these. I gave him my other Apache tier.
See this angel wing when you get a smooth? This is a 1, 2, 3. That's 6. I want this one back. No. Pick it up. Whenever one drops, angels really want you to have that. This is an Apache tier. The only place I come from in the world, Arizona, Nevada. And I got these from Superior, Arizona.
Nice.
And
ready to go.
Here. And then here's a card.
I hope he wears it. Because it brings me a lot of good things, and when I'm going through a hard time, I just grab it and kind of hang on to it, and it helps me. So I gave him my other one because I got 2 from Dave Zine at the 2023 Great Lakes Hog Rally. I seen him and he gave me a couple, and I held on to him, and I gave Sonny one. Thank you guys for listening, and I'm grateful to have this platform, but there's some serious times coming up and some serious things happening, right? And I got the name Lefty because I ride in the left lane, and I ride closest to the dotted line and in the left side of the lane. So always in the left lane going fast and that. So that's a pretty cool nickname. I love it. So for me, going forward and filling those voids that we have, despite all the stuff that I see on the news, and despite all the bad things that have happened in my life, and all the crappy people that I've ran into lately, and all the this and the that, it happens. This is going to happen. I forgot to put my light up. That'd have been a lot better, huh? Probably so. So we're 14 minutes in, my friends, and I can't change the lighting now, but I do want to remind you guys that believing in ourselves and having a faith, a belief that everything's going to work out is important. It's paramount. It's integral. It's critical to the program that we work each day. Because when we came to believe that a power greater than us could restore us to sanity, we no longer had to go through the insanity of addiction or alcoholism, because we broke the chains. We found and we believed and we turned our life over, right? And we avoided those things like the plague once we learned how bad or how poisonous alcohol and drugs are. Alcohol despirits you. It takes away your spirit. It takes away something from inside of you, and you have to get it back. You have to take it back. You have to reclaim power in your life. Amen? And I say that, and I'm trying to be a little bit more reserved in these messages, because I don't want you guys to mistake my excitement for immaturity, or for me just being a little bit off the cuff. But I'm really trying to get you guys to believe that there is a process here that we can do to save our lives, to save us from sure death if we continue to use alcohol, drugs. And really, truly, what we're seeking is abstinent from the people, places, things, and drugs and alcohol, and to have boundaries, and to set up things in our lives that are going to help us fix and turn our lives into something great. And I think we can do that. So I want to welcome you guys to the comment section down below too. Please comment and let me know what you think. If you guys want to share what you believe or what you've come to believe. And lately, you guys on the channel, in the last probably year and a half, 2 years, probably a year and a half, I've really tried to stay away from getting involved in the religious side of things, and I just have been just staying in my lane. But Mary Schmee, as she's known on YouTube, is Mary Flash, and I think that's how you say her last name, Flash. And I'll share I'll share her channel here. But she told me, or she posted rather, that the Jewish people are waiting for the Messiah, right, out of the Torah. They're waiting for the Messiah. Christians, on the other hand, are waiting for the Antichrist. So the Jews are waiting for the Messiah out of the Torah, and the Christians are waiting for the Antichrist. Do you think there's a coincidence here? I don't. I think that we have something going on, and I don't know what it is. I don't claim to know, and I know a lot of other people claim to know, and they have their ear to the ground, and they can hear the buffaloes, and they can hear all the stuff, and I kind of hear it too, but I don't have a clear understanding of what it is. But I think what we need to do is put faith in what Jesus said, right? Put our faith into what he said, and what did he tell us, right? That we're going to go through hard times, tribulations, ups and downs. But if we continue to put our faith in the Father, right, in God the Father, who put us here to experience all this and for us to have this divine design for our life, we will get by, and that he never puts too much on our plate that we can't handle. And there's nothing in this world that can't be cured, saved, made whole, made new again, but through God and through the spirit of that divine connection, right? And thinking about other people and being of service and being committed and dedicated and doing what you're supposed to do and all that. Amen. I feel it, you guys. I feel like something big's coming, and I just wanted to share that message with you guys today. Thank you for making it all the way through. I appreciate you. And if you need anything, please reach out. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the next one. God bless you. I love you.